Are we operating out of a poverty and scarcity mindset? These are mindset calls, right? The thesis is if you change your thinking, you change your life. And I try to get you to the roots, to the underlying reasons why you are the way you are, the underlying reasons why you're operating in the way you're operating. And that last thing that Ed Milet just shared with you is one of kind of like uh, the things that we don't think about all the time when it comes to mindset. Something real simple and basic. If we grew up in scarcity, which most of us have, to some and again, I don't know all of your stories, but most people do not come from wealth. They don't come from wealth. That's just not the way it goes. Most people grow in scarcity. Your family, your structure around there was a money doesn't grow on trees, right? This hard. It's a scarcity mindset. It's a way we think. It's not about what's actually around us. You were living in abundance the entire time. You've always lived in abundance. There's tons of abundance around you. It's just how we think about things. So that scarcity mindset comes down to things like I'm always looking at the price. I'm always judging things on price. I'm always trying to see what can I afford? What's worth it? What am I willing to pay? Like that is a mindset. I know we isolate it in our groceries or our shopping or our car or whatever. Like that's where we isolate it. But that mindset plays out into the reason why you might give up on hard things, why you're constantly negotiating what's worth it for you leaving your job or staying at your job or starting the business or doing this thing. It's the same mindset, just applied in a different area. So again, if you change your thinking, if we get out of scarcity mindset, if you're no longer buying things just off of price and negotiating off of price, and now you are operating out of value, out of worth, that happens in all the areas of your life, not just with your finances. That's such a key distinction to understand how mindset bleeds into all the other things that we do. The stuff that Ed was just talking about on there, the distractions, such a big one. What is distracting you? Life comes to distract us. Society is designed to distract you. The enemy, the adversary, comes to distract you. That's what this is. The more that people are laser focused on their vision, on your goals, on your dreams, on the man or woman God called you to be, on who you're becoming, if that becomes your focus, you'll achieve amazing things. You'll get to the highest, grandest expression of yourself. You'll grow the capacity to handle the life you're asking for. All the things come if you can eliminate distractions. So, just like Ed asked in the video, what are your distractions? Because we all have them. We all have them. What are yours? And are you aware of them? Awareness is the first step to change. Awareness is the first step to change. So, if you're aware of your distractions, now we're starting to be able to be aware enough to change them. If you're not aware of what's distracting you, if we've what's the word I'm looking for? Justified our distractions. Well, my work day was so hard, I need this 3 hours of Netflix. Well, because I don't have this, I have to, well, because I can't wake up early, I can't go to the gym. Whatever the distractions are, we have to be aware of them so we can slowly start to eliminate them. This is not going to happen overnight. It didn't take you overnight just to create your life in this way, to have all these distractions, to succumb to all of these things that are around you. It didn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen overnight to change it. But once you're aware, that's when you can start to do this work, y'all. What's yours? He wrote there, I wrote down, we're all willing participants in our own distractions. We're all willing participants. Remember, this goes back to the ownership mindset. If you're on the call, if you're watching this video, it's because you want to take ownership of your life. You want to own your life. You want to own all your health, your finances, your relationships, your business, your spiritual life. Like you want ownership of your life. You don't want to say, hey, it's because of my boss or because of my parents or because of my city or where I grew up or like you don't have the excuses. You want to take ownership. So that means we're willing participants in our distractions. The things that we're allowing to distract us, we can control them. My encouragement to all of you today is identify those things and start to be aware of what you need to do to change them. He talked about sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice to win? We've been having these conversations over the past couple weeks about suffering and sacrifice and knowing that that's a part of the journey. Don't wish it away. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't say, "Oh, I wish I didn't have to go through this." Whatever you are going through is preparing you for the life you're asking for. So what are you sacrificing? As you step in, here's what I'm willing to give up. I think in Think and Grow Rich, in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, he says something along the lines of like, once you write down the goal, the thing that you want, also write down what you're willing to give up in order to get it. So real simple for us to understand in a health perspective of like, hey, if I'm going to, easy example, lose 20 pounds, that's the goal. What am I willing to give up in order to do that? If I'm going to lose weight, okay, I'm going to give up carbs. I'm going to give up sugar. Like what am I willing to sacrifice? Well, it's the same thing in the other areas of your life. If you say you want to be financially free, you have the goal, you want to get there, you know the number, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to sacrifice dinners? Are you willing to sacrifice dining out? Are you willing to sacrifice shopping? Are you willing to sacrifice Christmas? Are you willing to sacrifice any other gift giving holiday? Like, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get financially free? Right? These are the things we're constantly thinking about. And Ed said in there that we got to stop negotiating the price. You got to stop negotiating the price of what it takes to win, to be successful, to get to your goals and dreams. In our brains, we do this unconsciously when we start saying, I don't know, it's too hard, or this, and we start thinking of the problems and the doubt and the fear and the worries and all the things. That is a form of negotiating the price. He said, and I wrote this down, you can't negotiate and execute at the same time. You can't be in your head saying, is it worth it? Should I be? Is this right? Is it? And actually going full force at your goals and dreams. Those things they don't coincide, right? So you got to know as someone that's going after the life that they don't need a break from, you got to know that you got to be willing to pay the price. And that's what it says in our text here, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. It says the world class is always willing to pay the price. Always willing to pay the price, right? I've been through a bunch of marriage counseling stuff. So anytime I see like the support, like the always, never, like it always like, well, it's not always and it's not never, right? That's what they teach you. It's like, you can't say those things. But the world class is always willing to pay the price. Are you? It's the question. If you want to be world class, are you always willing to pay the price for whatever it is that you are going after? You're not just having a sacrificial life for the sake of sacrificing. It's because you're sacrificing for the greater good, for a gain, for something that's up ahead. But are you willing to pay the price? Here's what it says in this text. It says the average person would be flabbergasted at the amount of time and effort that professional performers invest on their way to the top. Amateurs use words like lucky and opportunistic to describe the world class, but they couldn't be farther from the truth. The great ones pay a tremendous price for their success, while the masses spend an inordinate amount of time planning and scheming ways to avoid doing the work necessary to win. Champions are out on the playing field paying the price. The middle class consciousness is convinced there's a shortcut to success and are bound and determined to find it. Of course, there's never been a shortcut to success, nor is there a glamorous method of paying the price. There's only blood, the blood, sweat, and tears of delayed gratification. There's only the pain of suffering of practice. There's no escape from it. And the winners know it. You either pay the price for success or you pay the price in regret. Say that one more time. You either pay the price for success or you pay the price in regret. Only champions pay the price of success. Only champions know the price of success is a much lighter burden to bear than the ongoing torture of regret. As speaker Jim Rohn says, paying the price weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. To thinking and contemplative people, the only intelligent choice is paying the price. The alternative is mental torture. Success is a toll road. Pay now or pay later. You already know what the great ones do. Pay it now, right? I had a mentor of mine used to always say, you can either pay now or you can pay later, but either way, you're going to pay. So it's just you choose when you want to. This goes back to our conversations earlier in the week or last week, right? Are you doing the hard things? Are you waking up every morning choosing to do the hard things? Are you waking up every day choosing to do something uncomfortable? Are you waking up every day willing to pay the price? You're asking for something. You're asking for a life. You're asking for something that you don't yet have. It could be, again, interpersonal things. It could be peace and right fulfillment inside of you and love, like whatever the things are that you feel like you're going after. Are you willing to pay the price for it? And the world class is always going to pay the price. You're not going to negotiate. You're going to say, here's what I want. Here's what I'm willing to give up for it. No more negotiating. I know it's going to get harder. I know the road gets tougher. I know the higher I climb this mountain, the less air it's going to be, the more tools I'm going to need, the more susceptible I am to dying. That is the metaphor because everything uphill, everything worth it is uphill. Everything you want in your life is uphill. So it's just like climbing a mountain. And when you climb a mountain, it's easy down at the bottom, and then you start going up, and less people go up that mountain, and most people turn around, and people start negotiating the price, and they say it's too high up here. I'm getting scared. I don't know if I have it. I can't do it. Right? That's what happens. So for the person that's going after their ideal life, you're going after your goals and dreams. You can't do that. Like it's only a few things you need to learn and adapt to be successful in life. There's only a few things. That's why this stuff is age old. It can come from scripture, it can come in books like this, but it's all like the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. And if you can just embrace it and actually like apply it in your life, change how you're thinking about your life, change how you're thinking about suffering, change how you think about paying the price or, sacrifice or risk, like just change how you think about it. Know that it's a part of the process. Without that, you're not going to get to success. Then we might start taking different actions. Then we might start saying, you know what? I'm not going to negotiate this price. I said this is what I want. This is what I'm willing to give up for it. And now we wake up every day and we go after it, no matter how hard it gets. You're going to pay the price. You can either pay it now or you can pay it later. Either way, you're going to pay. And again, paying the price for success weighs ounces, but paying the price of regret weighs tons. Right? We got to think about these things, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going. We only get one life. You only get one of these. You don't get to come back and do it again unless that's your belief, right? But like we don't come back and do this again. So you got to start paying the price. I don't know what that looks like in your life. I don't know what that looks like in any of your lives, what paying the price looks like. But just understand the hardships that we go through, right? Like the things that life throws us might not be the sacrifices that we need to be making. Let me kind of break that down for you because I work with a lot of people. I have this conversation, and sometimes life gets hard and we think that's the sacrifice. We're not actually going after a dream. We're not actually going after our goals. We're not actually laser focused on the man or woman that we want to become. That's not actually the case. Like the vision for most people is not that clear. It should be for you if you've been on these calls for any length of time, because I'm always going to tell you that's where this all starts. If you don't know what you want, why would you do any of this? If you don't know what you want, why would you pay a price? Right? Like that's just basic. If there's no destination, there's no thing up there, if there's nothing that you want, there's no price to pay. You just live life. You just do the things you want to do. It's not until we are laser focused on a vision of something of the man or woman we want to become, that then we know what sacrifices, risk, what we're willing to pay for that thing. Most people think just because their life is hard, they're sacrificing. It's like, oh, I'm struggling in, my finances, or I'm struggling in my living situation, or I have this family issue or a health issue. And because life is throwing me the punches, right? We're in a fight and we're throwing me the punches. This is my sacrifice. This is my sacrifice. I'll get through this. That's not the same as willing to pay the price and sacrifice for the vision. Always want you guys to understand that, because a lot of people think their sacrifice is just living a hard life. Living paycheck to paycheck is my sacrifice. No, it's not, unless you're going after the life you want. Like living paycheck to paycheck might be a sacrifice when you've chosen to quit your job. That might be the sacrifice. But if you're still doing all the same things and it's still hard and you're not going after your dreams, you might not be paying the price. We got to know, you have to be intentional, y'all. That's the word. Be intentional. Be intentional about what you want and then the price you're willing to pay to go get it. Eliminate distractions, ladies and gentlemen. Eliminate distractions. Go after your goals and dreams. Make sure that your vision is clear and that you stop negotiating the price. This Monday morning, October 20th, make sure that you put yourself in a position to push yourself out of your comfort zone today, to do something that scares you, do something that challenges you, do something that your future self is going to thank you for. Do the hard thing now. Don't have that regret when you're 70, 80, 90. You're like, I wish I would have. When I had the energy, I wish I would have. I wish I could. That's not the life we're going to live. You got to go do this work. People are counting on you to do the work. They're counting on you to do the internal work so that your external life can be better. All right. And we're all on the same journey to go make it happen. Love you guys. Enjoy your Monday. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care.